What do you do when you don't want to get out of bed? When nothing excites you or fires you up in the morning, but you know you're not depressed, you just feel blah and can't seem to get out of a funk. It seems like it's so common these days. I've definitely been in a funk myself, on and off for the past several months. And so in this video, I want to talk about a few of the ways that you can get yourself out of a funk quickly so that you can get back to performing at your full potential. Because being in a funk is like being perpetually stuck in the struggle phase of the flow cycle. And when we're trying to find our flow and perform at our very best, we want to stay out of that phase and get into flow more often. Of course, being in a funk doesn't feel good, but it also creates a complete block from your access to flow and being more immersed in the present moment. So here are a few of the strategies that I've found works best for me that hopefully can help you to snap out of a funk more quickly. The first way is with accountability buddies. Having those people that you can turn to for accountability and also know that they've just got your back whenever you need it is really important when you find yourself in a funk. And I also find that these individuals are the ones that can help you to find your flow more often with different group activities, because group flow is one of the primary ways that we tend to get into flow and to perform at our very best. So it always helps to have those people, on speed dial or in your favorites that you can message when you need to. Even put together a group chat with some of that tight-knit circle that you've got, so that you can turn to one another when you need the support most. The next tip you can use for getting out of a funk is to eliminate distractions for bigger wins. Distractions are deadly to flow states, but I also find that we often use distractions as a way to cope with feeling like we're in a funk or feeling down. And the problem there is that it tends to keep us in it longer. What do we all do when we're feeling down on energy or thinking, oh, woe is me, life is so hard? We're all guilty of this. We turn to social media and we start swiping through as a form of distraction and looking at all these highlight reels of all these exciting adventures and things like that. And we start to compare ourselves with where we're at to all these cool things that we see other people posting. And we get stuck in this doom scrolling cycle. And especially with all the negativity that's on social media and in the news right now, it just puts us into this perpetual funk if we keep doing that. So I find that as hard as that first step may be to eliminating distractions, you really just have to push through the discomfort and the resistance for a few minutes. And then you'll start to find that you're in a more focused state, and that flow will come with it. And when you're in this state, you automatically start to feel better, and you also start accomplishing more of the things that you've wanted to do, but feeling down and in a funk has led you to neglect or not just accomplish as well as you could. And when you use your time like this, you're going to feel so much better than if you had just sat down and watched TV or distracted yourself instead of actually creating something or producing something that you can feel proud of and feel the sense of accomplishment with. So the next thing that I find really helps is to move your body. Flow states require that you overcome some inertia, and often it really helps to get into our body first, sort of raise our energy levels by moving around. It's something that you see so often at personal development seminars like Tony Robbins. And there's a reason that it works, is because by raising our physical energy levels, we also tend to let our emotional levels rise up with it. And this can help us to definitely get out of a funk, even if it's short term. Once again, just like getting over the resistance of eliminating distractions, a few minutes of movement can really help to amp you up, to keep you going further and longer with whatever it is that you're trying to do. Just like with eliminating distractions and overcoming the resistance there, it only takes a few minutes, to raise up your energy levels and get some momentum, which is going to help you to snap out of that funk in the short term. And also consistently practicing this is going to really help long term as well. And you don't even need one of those mini trampolines in your house. Just start moving more and you'll find yourself snapping out of a funk and getting into flow more often. And the next one is something that I find very important to counteract the funk that you can get in when your dream goals and the big things that you want to achieve aren't happening maybe as fast as you would want them to. And that is to make easy and short-term plans and stick to them. So I find that this is very helpful because when we often have those big dream goals, it can take a lot longer than maybe we would want to consistently and persistently pursue over the long term. And patience is obviously super important when it comes to having grit and performing at a high level. But if we counteract that with small wins or little things that we can take action on and accomplish or look forward to, then we're able to also pursue those bigger goals long term and still get a sense of accomplishment and feel great in the short term. So that's why I like to find things that I can put into my schedule on a weekly basis or as often as is realistic, so that I'm looking forward to those things, even if, in the long term, the bigger goals and the projects are taking, chunk by chunk and taking a lot longer than maybe is super exciting. And this is one of the realities of long-term high performance is it's often unexciting in the short term, and we just have to have patience. So that's where the balance comes in. Set up dates with your friends to hang out or look forward to different adventures you can go on that are near to your house so that you've got some things to look forward to in the short term. And also something that's important to keep note of when it comes to these short-term goals is to remember the dopamine. And I like to use this reminder for myself because often when we do those things that are exhilarating or high energy in the short term, it could be something like downhill mountain biking, or maybe we've gone treetop trekking or skydiving. Those things are super high flow states as far as a lot of the different triggers that drive us into flow. And it feels great, especially afterwards when we get that rush of serotonin that comes in the recovery phase of flow. But in the short term, we also are getting that dump of neurochemicals from flow and just from the high dopamine reward of such exciting events. And there's always a crash that comes after that. So that's where we need to find some balance too. And even if you're looking forward to super exhilarating things, also have the things in your schedule, that help to balance that out with recovery time, active recovery, and also just things that are a little less intense that you can look forward to, whether it's hanging out with your friends or going for dinner or seeing a movie, things that you like that also aren't as super high engagement and energy when it comes to flow. And that will really help to create some more balance with the dopamine driven pathways that we tend to get caught up in. So I kept these tips deliberately short and to the point so that you could jump around to them and use them whenever you need them most when you find yourself in a funk. And another thing that will help is to give this video a thumbs up so that you can find it more easily next time you need it, and also subscribe to the channel in order to get more flow.